Are you in search of an institution with quality learning facilities and a conducive study environment? An institution where character and academic formation is upheld with morals? One where students are encouraged to harness their skills and talent? An institution that provides facilities for sound intellectual and character building? An institution with zero tolerance for sexual harassment, exam malpractice, drugs and other vices? A university though owned by the Catholic Church but open to all faith and creed. An institution with sound professors and lecturers. A university in partnership with international universities. Then, Veritas University is the place to be.
Welcome to the weekly Veritas television program on academic excellence. In this program, we try to talk about the values of academic excellence, particularly as it affects Veritas University of Abuja. Today, we have two gentlemen in our studios, Edwin Ochedu. Edwin is the president of the Students' Representative Assembly of Veritas University, right?
Yes, sir.
And that is you?
Yes.
You are the current president of the Students' Representative Assembly?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that is the equivalent of what others call student union government,
yes, exactly.
CUG. And then we have Alexander Anabado. Alexander was a former treasurer of the same Students' Representative Assembly,
Yes,
and he is currently the president of the Nigerian Economic Students Association, Veritas chapter, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, gentlemen, you're all welcome.
Thank you.
What's your experience in Veritas as outgoing students in terms of discipline? I'm asking this because we interviewed the Vice Chancellor some weeks back, and he talked about discipline, morals, academic as the tripod on which learning in Veritas stands. What has been your experience? Let me start with the president, so that it doesn't seem like you are challenging your president.
Okay. Veritas does something that is very, I'll call it very, very nice.
Okay.
They bring you in and they usher you out. So it's not like you come into the system with whatever you brought from outside and you remain there and then you leave. That's not the case.
Okay.
The day you step into Veritas University from year one, there's something they call an orientation program.
Okay.
Other students are not yet in school.
Okay.
You are in 100 level. They bring you in. Every formator that is among the academic staff and then moral building in Veritas University is going to talk to you.
Okay.
They mentioned two things. You are going to be certified in character and in learning.
Okay.
None is greater than the other, which means they are complementary. They go together hand in hand. And the watchword in Veritas University is discipline. Practically, if you feel that you have things that can't actually work within the system, then you need to be a saint in pretending to actually survive in Veritas University. You cannot exist within the system for 4 years and survive within the same system.
Okay.
With any form of indiscipline and the likes. Because this is a school that constantly checks you, whether in class, in your hostel, or wherever, with things like attendance, to know whether each student is on the bed or is in the hostel after Saturday outing. That is to say, we don't just leave the school and come back whenever we like. Other schools might say, oh, you don't have the necessary freedom that you need. But freedom is defined, and that is what Veritas University gives you, that definition of freedom that comes with the appropriate amount of discipline.
And responsibility. Okay. Alexander?
Yes, sir.
He says something like, pretend to be a saint for 4 years until you go. Is that what you have done? Have pretended to be a saint for 4 years?
No. I won't say it's like that. That's why he says it's very difficult to do it in Veritas.
Exactly.
Because the definition of freedom has to be defined. Like the definition, they will give you definition of freedom. It's not about having the whole time in the world to do whatever I want to do, but being able to tell yourself that this time is for this, and that's basically the idea of discipline.
Okay.
Because I always say that education without moral is like keeping without foundation. It will never stand.
Right.
And that's the issue we have. So in Veritas, you see an institution where the ingredients of institutions are working perfectly fine in ensuring that students grab what they want, the major purpose of coming to school. Then if you come to school to learn and you graduate with a good grade, but you don't have morals, that's why you keep having issues out there. So you come to Veritas where you receive the holistic formation a student, because there are fundamental principles of human nature that cannot be eroded of.
Okay.
It's upon them that we build other things.
Okay.
So you can't have all those character traits without being disciplined.
Okay.
So you can't be honest, you can't be faithful, you can't be faithful to your duty as a staff, as you can be coming to class without being disciplined.
Okay.
So that I would say that my experience so far in Veritas has been wonderful.
Okay.
Is something that I'll forever be grateful to. So I think they are perfectly okay when it comes to this, and that is the watch. That's why VC is always taking on the watchdog of discipline, because that is the key to survival in this world.
Okay. So for a student who is intending to come into Veritas, emphasize for him or her what the president just said a while ago: character and learning are the key watchwords for a student coming into university. He can't survive without these two. And the only way to get your certificate is by being disciplined and also by learning. Is that what it means?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Because that, like I said, if you have certificate and you don't have the character, it's just effort in futility.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense at all.
Okay.
So for students who are intending to come to Veritas, I would say that is a golden opportunity.
Okay.
Because many people out there, they are struggling to come to Veritas because there are incentives that you get here you don't get outside school.
Okay.
Forget about the issue of not leaving school whenever you want. It's actually a way of inculcating this discipline in you.
Yeah.
You understand? You are within an institution where you are not with your parents, and nobody is there to monitor you. That's why though you have to sign exams before you leave. But there is this alertness it brings to you that before I cross this gate, there must be something reasonable that I'm leaving this school for.
Okay.
So if you want to leave school, you must ask yourself, am I actually going out to do something? It's part of the character.
It's really what is.
Thank you, that's the point. It's part of the character that the school is trying. So if you come, you definitely, like I always say, in Veritas, we don't lecture, we teach.
Okay.
You are exposed to research.
Okay.
You're exposed to academic. You are exposed to things that you need to learn within the four walls of classroom,
okay.
and you're also exposed to things beyond classroom. Students go for conferences.
Okay.
Students go for extracurricular activity, which is part of the learning. So as you have all these things, also being in school where the institution, the university itself being an institution, and where you have unfettered access to anything you want. There is no unnecessary bureaucracies or protocols that you have to follow in getting access to wherever you want to get access to. So you have this formidable coordination between students, staff, between students, the management.
Okay.
So when you have all these things intertwined, then because it's not something you build on someone's head, because that person lives, everything is shattered. So the institution is built on, as a faith-based institution, character and learning is our watchword, and is institutionalized, not on.
One of the things that worries parents who are sending their children to schools, particularly children at your own level, is cultism, campus cultism.
Yeah.
And as I moved around the campus, I saw a couple of signs saying, say no to cultism, say no to indecent dressing. Is cultism a problem? Is it an issue in Veritas? Let me start with you, Alexander.
Okay, there is no ideal university everywhere.
Okay.
But we can have something close to ideal, something close to perfect. And Veritas is getting close to that. In all universities around the world, we have characters. The university is kind of coming together of people from different backgrounds,
right.
secondary school. So they have different orientation.
Okay.
You get, so as they come, you will see some elements of cultism. That is where the institution comes in. Definitely in all schools you will see them because of differences in character.
Okay.
So but the institution, like Veritas on its own, they have serious tolerance to cultism.
Okay.
Like you said, parents, even my mom, she was when I was coming to Veritas. Like she was very selective in selecting school, but immediately they said it's Catholic University of Nigeria, faith-based university. My dad did not say anything again. He was like, you can go, I'm supporting you, you can go, you can go.
Okay.
So I had this trust, confidence in my parents that I'm actually coming to a school where I will come and I will spend my 4 years and my parents will be relaxed at home, not worrying whether I will join
a kid or
something like that.
Injured.
Thank you. And student and the school also have this way of relating with parents.
Okay.
So parents know what is going on in the school. is changes that are taking place, any change in school must be notified. Parents must be notified. So, like I said, having zero tolerance to cultism in an institution is like fighting corruption.
Okay.
If the institution is built on someone's head, when our last former VC left, everything would have just shattered.
But it's there in the system.
It's there in the system, and we have organization in school.
Okay.
So any uncalled behavior, any unholy act must be reported, and they must be dealt with instantly. There is no delay. So you have a situation where students knows the role he or she has to play, and the institution or the framework within which students operate, they are always there ready for the students to attend to any issue that any student raises.
But the other issue that comes close to issue of cultism usually in most universities will be the issue of academic staff, non-academic staff going on regular strike, thereby disrupting academic activities. Do you have that in Veritas University?
Okay. One thing that allows for such industrial actions and movements is when, like, the staff within the system are particularly belonging to maybe a union that most times disagree with the kind of activities that is going on within the system, and like ASU and all of those things, which then means that you are going into a university with a plan to stay for 4 years, and you end up staying for like that's so you go ideally to read economics, and you end up reading medicine in the economics. That's you are doing 7 years, and that's very painful for a student, because you lose focus within that same system, and then it becomes problematic at the end of the day. But then if you have a school or a system where like there is nothing like strike and there's nothing like industrial actions, why? The first reason is not because there's absence of this union, because humans inherently can behave unduly, even when there is no space for you to behave out of place. You can actually behave out of place. So you can't say, oh, it's because like there's no union that staff are actually coordinating themselves and actually allowing themselves to flow within the system without disruption. No, it is because of the relationship that exists between management, staff, and students. Why? You understand that those agitations originally are going to come if some certain things are not in place. That is why the school management always tries as much as possible to meet the needs with the staff as well as the students. I can't count how many times the VC has organized like students to come to the hall, let us discuss. At the beginning of every semester, we're doing like a reorientation for every student, because you are coming back to the same system, and you'll be reminded of the mandates that you actually met within that system. That mandate is going to remain whether you like it or not. So things like agitations and all of those kind of things are not something we are scared of, because it's been covered for, because we know it is likely going to come. So why then try to solve the problem when it already comes, rather than preventing the problem? Veritas is a university that prevents the problem before coming, rather than try to like solve the problem at the end of the day. Exactly.
Okay, we're going to go on a short break. When we come back, we'll continue. Yeah, welcome back. We have in our studio 2 young men from Veritas University, Alexander Anabado.
Yes, sir.
What's your department again? Economics?
Economics.
Okay, right. And Ochedu, which department is yours?
Economics.
The same economics. Wow, okay, this is beautiful. So as representatives of the students, will you be kind enough to let us into what happens behind the camera? And what I mean by that is in your hostels, I'm still going back to the issue of ethics in a way. Do people smoke? The vice chancellor cannot be everywhere. Are there some nocturnal meetings when you think that people are no more listening, people are sleeping? Let me ask you, Cheda.
Okay. I'm going to give 2 analyses to answer this question.
Okay.
The first level of analysis is from the system.
Okay.
And the second level of analysis is on the students.
Okay.
Now, when you say behind the camera, I laughed actually because that's when nobody's watching and we're just on our own in our hostels and in school. But ideally, it's not nobody watching because the school system operates whether before the camera and even behind the camera.
Okay.
What I mean is that with the system, we have hostel administrators.
Okay.
Definitely, you can't give a perfect watch on students.
Okay.
Now, the age where people actually come into university is what they call a rebellious age. When like this is the thing you have heard.
Right.
But we have that inherent spirit that wants to do something else. When that begins to correct is when you are not allowed to continually practice such like laxity, such stubbornness, and that is where the system comes in.
Okay.
Now, you asked the question whether do students smoke and all of those kind of things. It would be a lie. It would be a lie to say there's no student that smoke in Veritas University because we have parents that know that their children are actually smokers.
Even before they
came. But understand, the first reason why parents send their children to school, to Veritas University, 1, for reformation, even before the academics. Because these are parents that have tried other universities. And it's not working. Okay. Right? It's not working. But they know these children are smokers. But once you get into Veritas University, there's what we call counseling in Veritas University. Okay. We're not after just expelling you or suspending you, whether you're a smoker or not. We want to know whether we are able to actually even remove that smoking nature. T.D. Jakes once said, like, he used to smoke 2 packets of cigarettes. But he's like, when he started stopping, he didn't just stop at once because it's very difficult to actually just say, oh, you're going to stop at once. Right. You begin to reduce it and the likes like that. Now, when we talk about smoking in universities, the question should be, do we allow students, do we tolerate such things? No, we don't. But do we have students who smoke? At the very minimal, yes. Okay. Why? The answer is simple. It's an open secret, actually. You have a system where students are continually in check with the security and with the school that do not actually allow them to have corners where they can hide to do these things. Because if you have a system that allows students to do whatever they want to do until you catch them, then it becomes problematic. But if you have a system that do not allow them to do whatever they want to do, then you don't even have a case of catching them. Because you don't let them do it. Exactly. That's the simple thing. So, like, smoking in Veritas University is something that is at the lowest level. Why? Because we still have those that are within the reformation process. But we believe that there will come a time that the only period you have smoking in Veritas institution with the way our discipline is going is within the first 2 weeks of when you come to the school. Because when you come here, you understand that your reformation has started immediately. That's the first level of analysis that I just said.
And listen, let me ask you. He mentioned hostel administrators. Do they live with the students or they visit? They come from outside or something?
No. They have rooms. They have rooms within the school compound. They have rooms within the hostels.
Really?
Yes, they have rooms within the hostels, and they take look.
And these are non-students.
Non-students.
They are
yes.
staff.
Yes.
They live with the students.
They live with the students.
So it's actually a way of continual mentorship and monitoring.
That's why I said before the camera and behind the camera.
Okay. Yes. Now let's step forward a little. Coronavirus pandemic. How did the students survive in terms of online teaching, online examination, continuous assessment? Was it such an easy thing, Alex?
I have to be very sincere here.
Yeah.
It's not. It was never, and it's still not an easy task, both on the students also and the management as well. Because this is a new normal.
Yes.
And for me, it has come to stay. I must accept it that it has come to stay. So I would say that I'm very grateful, like, the kind of institution I got admitted into. I'm just finished, I'm about to leave, like, past my 4 years, and that the Veritas University has been able to adapt to the new normal.
Okay.
And that is the key thing. It's a blessing in disguise.
Right.
Whether we like it or not, coronavirus has come, it has come to stay. You must find a way to live with it, and you're already living with it. So university looking for a way to adapt to it is something.
So there was no disruption in terms of learning, in terms of examination, continuous assessment.
No disruption at all.
Because of the online.
Yeah, the only disruption we had was at the initial stage. We were thinking that it was something of 1 month you go and come back. So the institution just wanted to wait and see if 1 month will be exact 1 month.
Okay.
But when the institution noticed that 1 month is looking for moving towards 7 months, 8 months, even a year. Different creative mindset had to come up, and they come up with the idea of joining the online platform.
Okay.
Most universities out there don't have even the infrastructure, they don't even have the capacity to even key into that platform. But as we are talking like this, by next week, 27th, I'll be doing my final defense. My exams, I'm done with my exams, I'll do my final defense, and I'll pass out, finishing up my NYSC, and life continues.
As the head of the Representatives Council, did you get any feedback from your fellow students about the difficulties they faced during the online lecturing and online examination?
Of course. Especially at the initial point in time.
Right.
I was constantly, and the kind of VC we had, you have is someone you can just call. He doesn't sleep. You just text him, he replies. You call him anytime. So once they are talking to me, there's no medium I'm going to report before he reports here, I'm calling him directly. This is what is going on. This is what is going on, and this is what is going on, and he's responding. At the initial point in time, it was very difficult even for myself, because the psychology needs to change. If it was you and the lecturer at 50-50, it's now you at 80 and the lecturer at 20, because there's no physical explanation for you to understand, especially in mathematics and all of those things. So the lecturer could explain, given the platform we have online, like the Google Classroom, the Zoom. Then you necessarily need to go back and begin to do your own study. Okay. It was difficult for students, especially on the aspect of data, and the aspect of like not being able to just, because we have different learning processes. Some students learn not from the lecturer, they learn from their mates. Okay. And that is taken away because you don't have your mates there to actually, and some students learn from just hand signs and examples that the lecturers give by real life situations. Exactly, from the class. Some students even learn by intimidation. They are intimidated to learn. Yes, they are intimidated to learn. If I don't know this answer, this man is going to point at me. Definitely, their instincts actually carry them to study before the lecture.
And to pay more attention.
Exactly. So those things are taken away. But the most important thing you must notice is not that. The comparative is not between online and offline.
Okay.
The comparative is between online learning and doing nothing. So which is better for the students? Online learning. You cannot get it perfectly at the go. You can't get it perfectly at the go. That was why most of the complaints began to you need to necessarily question yourself. Is this something I should be complaining about? Because of course we are humans, we need to complain, but the key word there is adjustment. We adjust to it. There are different universities out there, but what makes a university a school is when that university is dynamic.
Right.
Because we can't say this is the last pandemic that is going to come, or we can't say this is the last disruption. But the ability of that university to adapt to the situation and give students that mandate that they owe those students by the contract they sign when those students come into that school, to give them proper learning at any point in time. That's the question. Time lag.
Right.
That is where Veritas University, I actually appreciate my stay in Veritas University. Some students don't have this, and I believe this is a gift.
Okay.
This is a gift, and I appreciate the school system from actually doing this. And I want to encourage students who are out there making a choice for a university. I'm not saying, hey, everybody, bring your children to Veritas University. I'm not going to give you that compulsion.
Right.
But there's a word I want to send out there. Making a choice for a university is not about your child going to collect the degree.
Okay.
But your child going to collect that quality degree. Because the problem that the educational system exists to solve is the problem that affects directly the country that you are in. And not the problem that, I am educated in paper and then I can't practice outside the space of education. So Veritas University is not out there to give you a paper qualification that, this is what I have done.
Right.
I've gone to school and I've done 4 years and I'm out.
Okay.
But they're giving you a qualification that wherever you speak people are going to understand that this is a product from a university and a school, and not just a university.
And I must tell you that you have impressed me by the way you speak. But let's keep it there. Alex, as you plan to leave Veritas University in a few weeks' time, tell our viewers what will be your lasting impressions of the university.
My impression?
Yes.
I don't know if there is a word I can use to quantify it or even to call a quantitative measure of it, because like I said before, is experience or is something, because my certificate will be at Veritas University, Catholic University of Nigeria till I die.
Right.
So this is a 4 years that I will forever be grateful to, and this is also what I'm going to tell our viewers out there and those all those who have their daughter or their sons trying to enter university, make a good choice.
Okay.
Veritas University
Is a choice.
is a good choice. It's a perfect choice.
Okay. Parting shot. Where do you hope to see the school when you come back here, say, in the next 10 years?
Where do I hope to see the school?
Yeah, Veritas University.
You know, the word with hope is that you're looking for something far. Huh?
Yeah.
So I'd rather remove the word hope and say, where do I see the school? Because I'm seeing it already.
Okay.
Exactly. So, like, within year 1 and 400 level, the school has not been the same.
Okay.
So if you say 10 years, you have given us a luxury. Because where I see Veritas in 10 years is like a school that when you come into Nigeria, this is not for Nigerians now, like when you come into Nigeria, you are looking for a scholarship to school in Nigeria.
Okay.
You understand? And you're being given an advice that there's a school you could go to, and it's Veritas University. I'm proudly saying this because at the end of the day, when I say this and then I walk out, some people might say, is it not that school? No. I'm saying this because I know the confidence I have within the university, that when somebody steps into this place, it's going to remember me for saying it. Because yes, I'm taking the glory now for saying it because I know it's something true. So at the end of the day, this is something that is achievable. This is a school that when you walk into Nigeria and you hear the Catholic University of Nigeria, it's not just the Catholic University of Nigeria, it's the Catholic University in and of Nigeria.
Well, what a way to stop this conversation. Very beautiful. We'll be talking with Edwin Ochedo, who is the President of the Students' Representative Assembly, and Alexander Anabado, former Treasurer. Both of them are studying economics at Veritas University. Gentlemen, it's been nice having you. We thank you, our viewers, for continuing to stay with us. My name is Cyril Ole. Thank you.
Veritas University of Nigeria, Abuja, established by the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria to provide quality tertiary education. Veritas University is located in the serene environment of Wari Area Council, sharing neighborhood with JAMB and the Nigerian Law School. We offer quality courses in Faculty of Education, Humanities, Natural and Applied Sciences, Management Sciences, Social Sciences, Engineering and Law. We maintain high standard of learning and character formation, ensuring timely graduation for our students at affordable fees. With high digital curriculum, we maintain an e-learning system with uninterrupted online studies. Our environment is secure for learning. Contact Veritas University of Nigeria on the following numbers.